Hey everyone, this is Matt Wardell, the music director and conductor of the Ocala Symphony, and I wanted to come to you in this video and talk a little bit about two upcoming concerts we've got here in October, two concerts that I'm actually very, very excited about. First, of course, is our opening night concert of our season called Fate, Goblins, and the Mothership. A really, really exciting program. And I'll just take a few minutes. I also would just take this moment and encourage you to come, if you get a chance, to our Coffee with the Conductor or our Cocktails with the Conductor. Sometimes cocktails are a little more exciting, but coffee's also good. So either one's good, I think, coming up here in just a couple of days. So any case, with this concert, just to give you a little sort of taste of what was I thinking when we put this music together, what was sort of our goal. We've got three pieces: Mothership by Mason Bates, The Water Goblin by Dvorak, and of course Tchaikovsky's Fourth Symphony, that all have to do with in a way being captured or abducted in some way, sometimes good, sometimes not good, and sort of escaping from that or figuring out how to deal with that. And first, the positive side of that with Mothership, a piece by Mason Bates. What a really, really cool piece. This is a relatively new piece. It was written in 2011, actually for the YouTube Symphony Orchestra, so it already has sort of a modern sort of feel to it. Mason Bates, you know some of the other music of his that we've played, is a fantastic living composer, a young composer, and just doing so much great work. But what's neat about this piece is that he incorporates the full symphony orchestra, but also electronica, a laptop, and he kind of, I'll read you a little bit of the program notes here. He says that the mothership floats high above with an orchestra pulsing rapidly with the heart of techno. So you can imagine, as an audience, we're going to get sort of abducted onto this big flying saucer, maybe, if those still exist. And then we're going to hear this really cool sort of electronic music concert while we're up there. The way he treats the orchestra is really exciting. Lots of cool things going on. Some sort of like pulsingness, obviously with the strings and all these neat things happening. Really kind of the harmonic language already feels sort of otherworldly in a very neat way. And then of course you have the laptop. There's someone literally playing the laptop, sort of cueing all these neat sounds to come in and out as the orchestra is playing. So it's a really fun piece. I think you're going to love it. About 9 minutes long, but really, really cool way to start the season. And for people who might think they have an idea of what all orchestral music is, this is a great example of a piece that's different and sort of provides sort of a more modern take on things, which is wonderful. After that, we're going to go to a different type of abduction, the Water Goblin by Dvorak. Water Goblin was sort of a Czech fairy tale that was used to help kids like not do bad things. So in this case, to tell kids maybe don't go near the edge of the water, because in the original fairy tale, the water goblin would snatch you and then hide you under an upside down teacup forever, all this kind of stuff. Dvorak loves these tone poems, and this is based on a larger literary work by Erben, a great Czech master, and with this, what I love about Dvorak is the way he treats these sort of epic poems that he's writing the music to. One, we'll have that language above us as we're playing, so you'll know the story the entire time we're playing. It'll say, "Oh, the water goblin, comes on the screen," and all this kind of stuff. So you'll see all that and hear and read all that while we're playing. But Dvorak writes the music so well in tune, literally and figuratively, with the poem. So you really follow the story really well. Now, this is not a good abduction story. This is a sad one, scarier than Mothership for sure, in that a young young woman goes by the river, by the water, the lake, and gets sort of abducted and becomes the water goblin's wife. And I won't give you away the end of the story, but they end up having a child together, and there's a little struggle there. Can she take the child home? Does she have to live forever in this sort of underground lake area? But it's a wonderful piece, incredibly descriptive. It's all the really cool things that Dvorak does well, and in the Ninth Symphony and all the other works of his that we all love, sort of compact into this short, relatively short, about 15 to 18 minutes long tone poem that you're just going to love. And again, we'll have the story up above the orchestra, and this features so many of our great players, and so does the Mason Bates piece, by the way. So many of our wonderful players and all that kind of stuff in solos and featured sections that I think you'll be really, really impressed. And it's very powerful, very powerful. Speaking of powerful, and perhaps even scarier than a mothership or a spaceship, or scarier than a water goblin, is Tchaikovsky's Fourth Symphony, and the idea of fate, this thing that we cannot escape from, this idea that we have a destiny, a fate that's sort of put on us, and that we can't get away from. And you're going to feel that idea in this music right away from the beginning of the first movement, when you hear this powerful brass fanfare that ends up being the fate theme. And that fate theme is going to come in and out throughout the symphony, throughout the four movements. We're going to hear some of that music come back to kind of remind Tchaikovsky, no matter what you're trying to do, you've got this thing to come back to. It's predestined what's going to happen to you. But Tchaikovsky certainly bucks at that idea, pushes back on that. Remember, any great symphony sort of states an issue or a problem in a way, or puts out a situation in the beginning. And as we go through that symphony, as we get through to the end of that symphony, hopefully we've either solved that problem, conquered it completely, or become at peace with that problem. These are things they're all ways to handle a situation, right? Sometimes we can say, well, it is what it is, right? Or we can say, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm going this way. So we'll see what Tchaikovsky does, but I can tell you he pushes back quite hard on this F minor sort of fate theme into one of the most exciting and glorious endings of a symphony that I think has been written even since this was written. So it's a really cool opening night concert here. You're going to love it, October 19 and 20. And then following that, we've got another performance right at the end of October of a silent film, Metropolis by Fritz Lang from 1927, almost 100 years old. So we're right on the cusp of that 100th anniversary, with a really spectacular score by my dear friend Brian Satterwhite. Brian's an incredible composer, an award-winning composer. This work of his is just fantastic. It uses a sort of a chamber ensemble of the orchestra, a pianist, a set of strings, a brass player, some percussion, all kinds of little neat things. The way he uses the musicians, you almost can't believe the sounds that you're going to be hearing. I mean, he's really great about combining different instruments and just immediately creating this sort of sound world that's very, very exciting. For this 100-year-old full-length silent film by Fritz Lang, Metropolis, which is a story that I think holds credibility today. It's essentially the main characters realize they're sort of living in this dystopian sort of futuristic science fiction area where there's a wealthy elite, and then there's sort of a working class, and this is sort of about that fight between the working class and the wealthy elite. And then at the end, we hope, and not to give too much away, but that the sort of this problem is addressed, much like Tchaikovsky with the Symphony No. 4, and that we sort of bring justice and unity to what's a very divided society. Speaking of divided, right now with an election coming up, I think we feel very divided sometimes. So maybe with a lot of these things, we'll kind of use this music to process everything going on around us, which is why I love music. It's why I love orchestral music, this 500-year-old art form now that consistently is been here for us and helps us reflect on the past, be present in the present, and also look forward and be excited about the future. And I think this whole concert of opening night, and of course the silent film the week later of Brian Satterwhite's score does all those things. So I'm really excited, and I can't wait to see you here coming soon. We miss you, and I can't wait to see the musicians too. I don't tell them that in person, but they know that. I feel that way. I do tell them that actually. But we're excited, and it's going to be a really great October with the Ocala Symphony, and it's only going to be greater with you there with us. So I can't wait to see you. I hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.